Circles. One. Okay. Keep breathing. One, two. This is interesting. Okay, cross your hands, your right. Switch. Switch. Straight leg stretch. Switch. Switch. Up. Good night. Yep. All right, breathing. Okay, punches. Switch. Switch. Yes. Switch. Center. Yes. Switch. Breathing. Hold up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Middle block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. High block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. All three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Low block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Little block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. High block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. High. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step. Up. Close. Step. Breathing. Kicks. Start with front kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. Heel kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathing. We'll do edge of the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Straight leg kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, deep breathing. Do a round kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch to the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathing. Drink if you will do forms, I guess. We're gonna run through the forms, I guess. Most likely. Let me fix this. I don't know. Well, see if should we just run through the forms? Any in particular? All right. All right, first form. Ready? Got some stragglers. All right. Go through slow and one. Hup. Six. One. Down. 2, 3. Go. Walk. Walk. Whoop. Hup. Ying. Second form. Up. Ying. Slide down, we'll do Bambagun, third form. All right, up. Breathing. To a fourth one, you want to guys move on to something. We don't get to do footwork very often. Maybe we do footwork. I was going to say we could do four, but we always do footwork. We never get to footwork. Maybe we'll do footwork. Yeah, let's do footwork. Do you know footwork? No? Okay, we'll do the fourth. All right. All right. Yep. Oh, sorry. Form. Do you know the fifth form? Kunji Fupu? Yes. I did. Knock that thing right off. All right. Sorry. Ying. Check to see if I feel it. We did the first 5. So anything you want us to focus on? I was a little nervous when I'm on stage. Should we do Fook? I was going to say, I haven't done that in a while.
So just restocking. I think my mask has hair in it. It's kind of like filaments. Okay, I'm getting another mask. It has like little hairs here and it tickles. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Volume up. Testing 1 2. Are we on? Okay. So last class we talked a lot about referencing the body and, setting up our positions. So that's what we have to focus on in getting the accuracy of position. So with Gongji Kun, when we lift up and we open the hand and we turn, this should be square, it should be parallel. You align the tips of your finger with the shoulders. When you turn your hands, it's still aligned with the shoulders. Then when you drop your elbows and clench the fists, it's still parallel and vertical. So you have to look in the mirror, if there's a mirror in front of you, to see if your own arms are vertical and plumb. Because I see a lot of elbows like this. So Andy, take a look. Take a look in the mirror. How do your arms look? Do they look like they're vertical or they... Yeah, they're slanted. So you have to fix that. So right now they're still not fixed. You have to pull your elbows in to get them straight. See? I can make the adjustments, but I'll have to wear my gloves. And this should be out more, like here. See, when you sink your elbow, that's pulling your elbow back. You're sinking the elbow is dropping it down. So they're still in front of you, and there's still a small gap there. So a lot of it, when you see the movement, it all looks the same because you don't see from the side position the actual position, because you see something in two dimension, it's flat. So when you pull in, drop, right? So even though this is here, this is tighter. You see what I mean? So there's your strength position. Then you open. So you open by pulling your elbows back. With not too much strength, right, Paul? Okay, then you go out. 1. Let's calm down. 2. Inside Joe, yeah. 3. Okay, elbow up. Hup. So your hands, the palms face your ears. Then you press down. Now your fingertips are actually pointing 45 degrees. It's not like this. You're here. So, but it doesn't thrust over there. It's pointing 45 degrees, but you have to thrust over there and then sink. Now when you sink, this is parallel to the floor. And then you do your salute. 1, 2, 3. Salute. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you open your stance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. Right? So this line with your shoulders. All right. 1. Drop the elbow and your palms go together. That's like the triangle position. But in this one, when you come up, it's not completely in. Because from here, it's going to go. That's when the elbows go in. It doesn't come to here. It comes here, and they're like that. Now when you open, you separate the hands. The elbows come in. Okay. Then you draw. 1, 2, 3. From here, sink the shoulders, lift, grab, lift, and push. Lift, grab, and push. Sink the elbow. So you sink the elbow, and then right from the sink, begin to lift. Yeah. Pull and push. Then grab the last one, wrist block. Thrust. Sink. Cross. Okay, so when you cross, close the center. Open the back. Close the center. Open the back. Make your fist like this. Cover. Okay, now when you cover, you're covering like this. And your elbows roll the shoulders a little bit, and then unroll the shoulders when you open. And this is a killer, right, Paul? Okay, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Cover, lift a little bit, spread slowly, 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 and then turn it down. Okay, and that's it. So this is closing. Round, open, round, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you step. 1, 2. So come through center. Hey, here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you do it, 1, 2. You see, if you pass through center, your feet will have some agility because you look at the footwork. 1, 2, 3. If you just go like this, 1, 2, you don't actually control your center, and your leg is not really working the same way. So you have to pass through your center, and then put some light. Yeah. So that's breaking it down. But when you pass through, you go 1, 2. Yeah. But yeah, you're breaking it down. But you see. So now when you go like this, you can sink in your stance. So your foot doesn't really touch down until you sink. In fact, you leave a gap. And then it looks like the foot is touching down softer. Yeah, right? So you can see, because your footwork should be like a cat. So your footwork should be moving as agile as a cat. Yeah. And then you draw back, kick, and then you take your step into offset horse, drop your hand, and then just roll your shoulder like this. Now here's the line, right? And then the hand comes to here, elbows here, because this is where your block's going to be. See, so setting up your elbow position helps a lot. And then, so bring it to here, right? Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you feel this foot's a little bit turned this way too much. So when you're here, this foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, shift, 5. Then your foot should be in a good position. Now because we're turning, 1, 2, 3, 4, we shift the weight here, lift. So here, you see what I mean? So when this foot is here, then when you turn, this foot's going to straighten. So that's the two sides are working as a unit. They're actually paired together. That's relationships in the body, you know. When you're dealing with self-cultivation or you're really dealing with a relationship within yourself. You know, what goes on at work is another thing. That's relationships with other people. But when you're dealing with this type of thing, you're really working with your two sides, your upper, your lower, and what's going on here. So it's sort of working with within your own universe, which is your body. Okay, so these are just parts of what we do as part of the training. And then here, then you step, and then turn. Then you relax here, right? You're here, open, turn, come through center, cut, right? So you come through center, cut, right? You cut here and palm. Now when you come through center, use this cut. Step. Now body's here, boom. Adjust, elbow, sink, thrust, draw back, cut, lift, push, pull. 1, 2, 3. See, there's a lot of body mechanics in there because everything should be driven from your waist, going in a direction, cutting, take your step, palm, right? Adjust, elbow, thrust, sink, push, pull, down, 1, 2. So you really have to set up every part of your position just for that last movement. So that's how we improve the timing and the accuracy, because now you're trying to, this is after sequence, you're trying to pull all your components together. Those are your joints. So let's just try that from the kick, right? When we step, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sink, turn, drop, step, lift, turn. All the way, get your body around, cut, step, palm, adjust, elbow, sink, thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you do it like that, every movement is going to be a blend of your body. Then you get everything to work, you activate it, then you build the summation of components. So every one of your components becomes part of the movement. So as you build that summation of components, the more components that are being moved, the less strength you need in any single section. Then you're going to get a blend of your strength, and you start to be much more efficient. So what's that? That's motor skill. It's programmed here, but if you don't break it down, when you run through the form, it starts to fall apart because your body doesn't really recognize it. So right now we're going through the conscious level of learning, where you have to think yourself through it until it becomes innate. And after it gets somewhat innate, it ends up as a reflex. And all the categories of movement that we talk about will end up discovering it as part of that process. And you get better and better. And it just, Song Gong Siu, dragon claw, cutting hand, all of these are fundamentals. They happen in every form. You get it in one, you start to get it in others. So if you're practicing like this, then this is the same. This is the same. The movement always will pass through your center. You'll sink, you open. If you palm, you do this. If you sink, you lift, you sink, you turn. All of those pieces that we already know, right? So let's just try that one more time, then we'll do the other side. Because the other side has to go through the same process. Ready? 1. So remember, define your stance. Defining your stance means this. 1, right? 2, 3, 4. So what are you defining? Every time you go like this feels that. Every time you do this, it feels that. You go like this, it feels what that feels like. And then eventually when you do the form, if it doesn't feel like that, it's not right, because you shortcutted it. See? That's the ma bu. So that's why Seong An Sin Ma, the ma is like the last one. Why is it the last one? It's the hardest to develop, and most people don't want to pay attention to it. So the ma bu is part of that in the structure. So yeah. So it does take, so breaking it down first, go through it, go through each phase, then your body will start to pick up, and then it just will happen as one. Shift, shift, there, yeah, and still. So you control that with this. It takes a lot more strength in the leg when you do that. Because why? Because your leg is doing that rather than just that. So you can really feel the muscles. You feel the muscles working in your thigh. Can you feel it turning? Because it's actually a different action than doing a squat. Even though you're squatting, but see when you squat here now, right? Feel it turning. Turn. sit, sit, sit. You feel it there? Sit, sit. Why is it different? Because the muscle, when it does that, it's like your forearm twisting. It's like your body turning into it. It's the spiraling of the stance into the ground. It's like you're screwing into the ground. So you're creating a torsion downward. And then when it goes down, then it's going to come up. You see that? You see how it feels? The strength is different. That's live strength. If you just go here, that's still somewhat dead strength. That's the kind of strength you use when you do deadlifting. This is live strength. Because once you get into this position, then you can get out of the position because it's not just a tight, stiff motion. So you can see how important the leg is. Okay, keep going. Ready? There. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Drop. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
This way?
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1. Replicate the same footwork. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Down. Step. Cut. Cut and then turn it this way. Yeah. So that creates, and then straight out. And then load your elbow, shoot it out. 2, 3. Cut, push, pull. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, so we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So this ends up here.
It's not straight. Turn a little bit.
Turn here. Yeah, because you're,
Take a walk in here.
so it's like fist on the elbow. You're turning like this. But because you're coming, you're sinking the elbow and turning here. Now you have your triangle. Right? So a lot of times, go, yeah. So a lot of times people just come across like this. Right? But you don't have the sinking. Because if you're going to tie your leg to your elbow, the knee to elbow, when you're here, when you step out, you have to shift, touch, and sink. Then once you sink, right? So in order to go forward, you have to go backward. In order to go down, you have to go up. So there's a balance in motion. This is the spiraling. Then you're turning. Turning. And then you come through center with the sit back and the turn. And you come forward again. Okay, next 1. Okay, so you have to drop your elbow on the way around. So after the dragon, let's try that dragon again. You have to dragon, you have to sink your elbow here, turn, and then expand. So it adds, when something happens below, something has to happen above, right? So we're in the dragon position, and we're going to turn. So to compensate, the counterbalancing to this is in the torso. And then, because I'm going to turn, I have to sink here, open the stance, come around, and then draw back. Let's try that a few times. 1, 2, 3, and then this leg should be over more. So you first adjust your stance. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what has to happen when you sink here? You watch this knee. Right? Because why? Because if my hands are going like this, then this has to compensate for this. If I just go like this, I just have an upper body movement, but I didn't really sink here. I didn't root that leg. That's the floating strength. This is floating. This is chim. So you relax here, and it sinks. And then once you sink, you can take your next step, right? So once you're in your stance, you're already prepared in a position to move to the next position. This foot is pivoting to here. So you try to pivot on the heel of that back foot. Yeah, but don't go forward, yeah. So that, yeah, and then here. Go. Right? This, yeah. Because now, you see when I go like this, right? You put your hand on my shoulder, right? I create a structure integrity in my position. If I just go like this, you push on my shoulder, the body is not in it on both sides. Those 12 joints, I call them the primary movers, have to be working together as a unit. Yeah. So the position is a little bit off, but if you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my body's twisted way over here. It's not stopping here. Twisted here. So this has to be driven by your back. Your back. Xiu ngan sin yeo ma. Yeo is the waist. This turning also, if you're doing it here, when you do the iron wire form and you're turning, right? When you turn, this is where the strength is coming from. So you have to build that strength right from your fundamentals in the lower level, learning Gung Kuen as one of the first pillar forms. So by the time you learn iron wire form, those things are supposed to be somewhat in place. So then but if it's not, then you know that there's a consistency. When you go through these forms, it's a training vehicle. That's all it is. It houses the information and the ideas. The theory, the principles are something you have to take in as information. Then you have to work through it till your body starts to connect with those movements. Because the body really doesn't know. It only knows what you show it or what you tell it. And then it still doesn't know. You have to go through a whole process to that journey, and then you experience what that feels like. What does it feel like to twist and to twist? Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah. This movement, right? Kind of similar, close, because the body, it's a circle. It's called moving strength. Wun xiu. Wun xiu. Wun is the move. Actually, the word cloud hands is called wun sao, right? Wun. But actually, the word is not clouds, it's wun, to move. The moving bridge. So when you move, when you lie and you turn, or when you sink and you turn, So your strength comes from the ground. And the strength is the rooting. But it takes a lot of core strength or core manipulation. It's a physical thing in the beginning, and then it ties together. Then the fingertips actually working too. When the hands, it's all the way down to the hands, right? So each one of your fingers become part of the movement. That's why the Grandmaster Lam Zhou's hands were so strong. When he grabs you like this, you know, he grabs you, the pressure points, or if he wants to just rip the tendon, it just, he grabs it and that's it, boom. That's at 90 years old. You know, so but that's what you're developing is the in the hands. It's fast, but it has to be soft when it catches. So yeah, so you're here, right? It's, yeah. So you develop a timing. So there's a reflex in the palm of your hand. Infants have it. That's why a baby, if you put your hand there, the hands close. That's a reflex. That goes away as you get older, but it's still a reflex, still a timing, but there's a sensation. So when the hand hits, the fingers wants to close. So when you grab, that's what it is. You know, that's one of the, you know, as a lot of things happen, you know, to the human as they evolve, those are some of the things that go away that are innate characteristics that would be a reflex. Other reflexes, when you sit and hit that and your foot goes like that, that's a reflex. So the hands have that kind of thing too. So anyway, let's go from there.